Okay, guys, gonna get started here. Let me unplug that. It might glitch there a little bit, but we're gonna go ahead and jump into lesson 5 here. Excuse me, of chapter 4, and it's going to be converting measurement units. We're actually going to spend a couple days on this. Uh, Today, Wednesday, and then tomorrow, Thursday, you're going to be working. I won't be here again. I have to go to the doctor. So, anyway, then we're going to quiz on Friday. So, if you're at home watching this or you're watching this for a review, it's good. I'm going to flip this over and show you a piece of information that's pretty important here. This piece right here is pretty important. And we should know these fundamental conversions: 1 foot, 12 inches, 1 yard, 3 feet. There's 5,280 feet in a mile, okay, and down the line. And these are fundamental things that hopefully, as we write them, you will remember them, okay? And that's important. If you don't remember those, go ahead and tear that first page out and keep that with you. I'm also going to have some of these in class to help you and travel with you, okay? So let's go ahead and get started. What I'd like to do is just work on this lesson together today, and then tomorrow give you a sheet to kind of work on, okay? But we're going to be using mixed numbers and improper fractions and so on, okay? So I'm going to keep this piece by me, and I'm going to reference this if I need it, sheet. But essentially what we have to do is set up a ratio. And what we're going to do is really just multiply a fraction and a whole number. So when we talk about that, let's go ahead and take a look at this. 5 1/3 yards equals how many feet? Okay. So we have to know that there's 3 feet in a yard. And again, it's back on this sheet if you have forgotten. But before I get to that, what I'm going to do is go ahead and switch this to an improper. So 3 times 5 is 15 plus 1 is 16 over 3 yards equals, all right, how many feet? Now, I'm going to put feet on the top and yards on the bottom. The yards have to be opposite of each other when you set this up because we're going to do some factoring, okay? So I know that there's 3 feet in 1 yard, okay? Once I've gotten this to an improper and I've gotten all set up, I'm going to get factored out here, okay? The first thing I'm going to do is just factor out. I'm going to cancel out my yards. What I have left is feet, which is what I'm looking for, okay? 3 goes into 3 once. 3 goes into 3 once. I have nothing but ones on the bottom. 16 times 1 is 16, all right? And 1 times 1 is 1. So it's 16 over 1, which is 16 feet. And I like to circle that final answer. So 5 1/3 yards is 16 feet, okay? Okay, so let's continue on. 4.5 pints to cups. So I need to know how many, all right, cups are in a pint, okay? And that's pretty important. So we know that there's 2 cups in a pint, and it's on the sheet. But let's go ahead and get converted. 2 times 4 is 8, plus 1 is 9 over 2 pints equals cups on the top, pints on the bottom, all right? Well, if you look back at our sheet, I told you that. 1 pint is 2 cups right there. So I'm going to use that conversion, right? There's 2 cups and 1 pint. I'm going to cancel out my pints. 2 divided by 2 is 1. 2 divided by 2 is 1. I have nothing but ones and a C left. That stands for cup. So 9 times 1 is 9. So 4.5 pints is 9 cups. And we're going to do a lot of these together, so don't panic, okay? All right, let's continue on. 12 quarts equals how many gallons? I have a whole number here, so I'm going to rewrite this as 12 over 1 quarts, right, equals gallons on the top, quarts on the bottom. I know there's 4 quarts in 1 gallon. So the 4 goes on the bottom because there's 4 quarts, 1 gallon. I cancel my quarts out, and I have gallons left. 4 goes into 4 once. 4 goes into 12 3 times. 3 times 1 is 3. over 1, which is 3. So 12 quarts is 3 gallons. And that's what we're essentially doing. We're trying to factor out and cancel everything out till we have nothing but that whole number left. Let's continue on. 28 inches over 1 in fraction forms equals feet on the top, inches on the bottom. Okay, and I'll extend this bar. Now, I know that there's 12 inches in 1 foot, right? Okay, so now I'm going to cancel out my inches. 1's here, got feet left. These are both even. So divided by 2 is 6. Divided by 2 is 14. They're still both even. Divided by 2 is 3. Divided by 2 is 7. So I end up with a 7 and a 3. They are not compatible. 7 times 1 is 7. 1 times 3 is 3. Is 6 and a third. So it's 2 and a third feet. Right? Okay. Let's continue on to number 5. And here we go. A large grouper's a big fish, lives in the ocean, can weigh 1/3 of a ton. How much does a large grouper weigh to the nearest pound? So I'm going to come underneath and set this up. 1/3 of a ton equals, and we want it to pounds. Tons on the top, tons on the bottom. Now, here's a tough one, okay? All right, 1 ton equals 2,000 pounds. And if you could look at this at weight, 1 ton, 2,000 pounds. Okay, so I factor out my t's. Okay, now 3 does not go into this. I know this because the sum of the digits is 2. 3 does not go into 2, so it's going to be 2,000 over 3. We're going to chop it down. 3 6s are 18. Okay, 0 down. That 0 right there. 3 6s are 18. Subtract and bring that 0 down. 3 6s are 18. Okay, and we have a remainder of 2. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and leave that as 666 pounds. All right, we'll circle that up. So again, we are converting yards to feet, pints to quarts, and so on down the line. And we even did tons to pounds. Okay, so 1/3 of a ton is 666 pounds. All right, let's continue on. And you're kind of getting the idea, I hope. All right, and again, I'm going to flip that over, but I don't need that sheet anymore. Let's continue here. And let's go ahead and try and get a few more problems done. Again, the more we write these conversions, the better off we're going to be. Okay, so 18 feet over 1 equals, all right, what I'm looking for is on the top, feet on the bottom, always opposite. I know there's 3 feet in 1 yard. These cancel. 3 goes into 3 once, 3 goes into that 6 times. 6 times 1 is 6 over 1, which equals 6. Circle it. 6 yards, 18 feet. Okay. 2 pounds, how many ounces? I rewrite 2 over 1, pounds on the top. What I'm looking for is on the top over here, and the pounds have to be opposite. Now, we have a couple different ounces that we could talk about. There's 16 ounces in a pound, but when you're talking about cups, there's 8 fluid ounces in a cup. And again, that could be found right here. But if we're looking for weight, 1 pound, 16 ounces, and there it is. So what I'm going to do is put 16 on the top, 1 pound on the bottom. Okay. Cancel out the pounds. 2 times 16 is 32. 1's on the bottom. And there you have it. And we're doing nicely so far. Okay. Let's continue on. 6.5 cups. to fluid ounces. So this is a little bit unique here, okay? 6.5 cups is 6 5/10, which equals 6.5. We can't use that as a mixed number. We got to get that to an improper. So I'm going to multiply and add. 2 times 6 is 12, plus 1 is 13 over 2. All right, and that's cups on the top. And we're looking for fluid ounces here, cups on the bottom. Well, if I go to my sheet and I look, okay, and I'm trying to find capacity. So here's the fluid ounces. 1 cup is 8 fluid ounces. So I know 1 cup, 8 fluid ounces, right? Okay, so now we're going to cancel the cups. Now I still have an even number here, so I know 2 goes into both of those. 2 goes into 2 once. 2 goes into 8 4 times, right? 13 times 4. Well, we could come off to the side. 4 times 3 is 12. Carry the 1. 4 times 1 is 4, plus 1 is 5. So 6.5 cups is 52 ounces. And look at all the math we had to do there. I had to convert this to a mixed number and reduce it. I brought my 13 over 2 because 6 times 2 is 12, plus 1 is 13 over 2, equals 8 over 1. And I got this conversion from this sheet, right? Then I factored out some cups, okay? And then I multiplied through and got 52. Okay, we're going to continue on here. 2 miles over 1 equals how many feet on the top, miles on the bottom. Now, I know that 1 mile, okay, equals 5,280 feet. I know that. It's on the sheet, and that's a basic thing that we should know. Now, we're going to cancel the miles out. 1's on the bottom, right? Those are 1s. We can't do anything with that. So 2 times 5,280, all right? And if I need to, I would come off to the side, say 5,280, times 2, 0, 16, carry the 1, 4, 5, and 10. 10,560 feet, and circle it. Okay, so we're rocking and rolling on here, and we're going to continue. Okay, and I'm going to do maybe 1 or 2 more with you here. And this is kind of where I would, we'd be working on this in class, but I don't want to shoot this too long here, okay? 5,000 pounds over 1 equals tons on the top, pounds on the bottom. These always have to be opposite. 1 ton is 2,000 pounds. That came off the sheet. That came off the sheet of weight. 1 ton, 2,000 pounds. Okay, so I'm going to cancel out my pounds. I have tons left. That's what I'm looking for. Now, when we cancel, I'm going to divide by 10. I get rid of a 0. Divide by 10. I get rid of another. Divide by another 10. I get rid of it. So now I have a 2 on the bottom and a 5 on the top. 5 times 1 is 5. 1 times 1 is, 1 times 2, is actually 2. So we want to make sure that we're okay. And if I were to chop that down, that's my numerator, and my denominator doesn't change. So that's 2.5 tons. Okay? And we're rocking and rolling on here. Okay? Let's slide down to this one. Okay? One of the largest pumpkins ever grown weighed 3/4 of a ton. How many pounds does that equal? We're looking for pounds. And pounds is not PD, it's LBS, I'm sorry. All right, tons on the bottom. 1 ton, 2,000 pounds. These cancel. Okay. Now, looking to factor top to bottom, and there it is. 4 goes into 4 once. 4 goes into that 500 times. Okay. 3 times 500 is 1,500. We're looking for pounds. 1's on the bottom, and let's label it. And there it is. Okay. A 40-foot powerboat is for sale by owner. How long is a powerboat to the nearest yard? Okay, and I'm going to draw a little line here to separate. So I got 40 feet over 1 equals. We want to convert that to yards, feet on the bottom. Now, you have to ask yourself, how many feet are in a yard? Well, that's a basic conversion. That's 3 feet, 1 yard. If you didn't know that, it would be right here for your length. 3 feet, 1 yard. Cancel our feet, and we end up with 40 over 3. We're going to chop it down. 3 3s are 9. That 1 is my numerator, and my denominator won't change. We're looking for yards, so that will be labeled yards. 13 1/3 yards. Okay. Excelente. And the last one. A 3-pound pork loin can be cut into 10 pork chops of equal weight. All right. How many ounces, all right, in each pork chop? Okay. Well, first thing we need to do is take these pork loins, this 3-pounder, and convert it to ounces. Okay, so let's do that. 3 pounds over 1 equals, we're looking for ounces, OZ, pounds on the bottom. Okay, okay. Now the conversion that I see off of the weight is 1 pound is 16 ounces. Okay, we're going to cancel these out. And we're going to multiply 3 times 16. 3 times 6 is 18. That's 48 ounces. 3 pounds equals 48 ounces. But that's not the question. How many ounces are in each pork chop? If we divide that by 48. So if I take 48 and divide it by 10, right? So 10 goes into 4. It won't. 4 times is 40. Okay, so that's a 4, by the way. That's an 8. It's hard to see in the 10. So 4 8/10 reduces down to 4, and divided by 2 is 4. Divided by 2 is 5. So how many ounces does each weigh? 4 4/5 ounces. So pretty good questions here, okay? And if you were in class, we would continue working, and I would continue working on these. Like I said, we're going to work together today, and then tomorrow you're going to be on your own. Okay, guys, have a good day. You can continue working on that other page, maybe do 19 through 24. Thank you.